deposited or has been lying or being kept since Friday, the 1st of April, when the body arrived in the country. And with me here in studio is Mututa James. Karibu sana.
Asante ndogo.
Yes, we see that yes, now that is at A Plus funeral home, and as you can see in the picture, the body has been handed over now to a delegation from government, and it is actually going to be put on the waiting car, and then driven to Muyenga at the home of the late Aulanyah, where we are going to be having a requiem mass. And remember, as per the program after today, then the next item will be on Tuesday, when the body will be brought to Parliament, and then on Wednesday we shall also be having the body brought to Kololo. That is now because he's the national leader for everyone now to come and pay their last respects, and then from then Wednesday flown to Omoro, of course, and on Friday we shall be burying the late Jacob Lokori Aulanyah, and it has been declared a public holiday. Of course, today are now heading to Muyenga for the requiem service of the late. Now let's look at basically Jacob Aulanyah as a Christian.
There's been a lot of course, like we discussed last time, of blend of a person of Aulanyah. Is a Christian who also blends very well with tradition, and also adds that to politics, and he becomes sports, you know. It becomes
who preach whenever there was actually like a service, whenever there were prayers at Parliament. So, and even back home in his home diocese of Northern Uganda diocese, he was actually playing a very, very key role in that diocese. So bringing out the Christianity in him.
The blend of him made him that distinctive cut in life, that he would fit in any society, and he would still be considered a member. You would find him with the raka dancers from Gulu, and you will think.
And then before now you can take it to the other person, and I believe really that was a good message. Those are memories, those are very good quotes that we can always remember, as of course we eulogize, and of course as yes, we stand with the president, the family in this trying moments. Ndugu mtazamaji popote ulipo, leo ni siku ya ibada ya wafu ya mwenda zake spika wa bunge la 11, aliyekuwa spika wa bunge la 11.
But despite all those, let's be forward looking. Let's look at the bigger picture for the country than concentrating on the smaller differences that we are. So I think as a Christian, he was also living that life of by example, that if I'm to be forgiven, then I should also be seen forgiving others. And if to fight corruption, then I should also be seen to be corruption free. So I think that statement comes in to indicate that actually he was this person who was forward looking, that despite of the shortcomings of individuals, including himself, that as Ugandans we have a bigger picture to look at.
Yeah, and when you also look, you find that his name has not been mentioned anywhere in any scandals, financial scandals, and I think he's somebody, as a lawyer, who has been very, very keen on ensuring that whatever he does it without actually in line with the law. But also the other aspect that also have to look at is his magnanimous heart. Is always forgiving, always being a reconciler. That you find that people who were his former rivals, political rivals, just as after 2 or 3 years, they are now friends because they having come from UPC, reconciling with NRM, and actually becoming a very useful and important cadre of NRM. That shows how actually reconciling he was. So you look at Omoro. The Omoro, his own county, of course, having come and unopposed in the last election.
And remember,
yes.
before he comes unopposed, the earlier election had issues.
Yes,
to the extent that he was accused of having manufactured that victory. So you see a person who, like I said, focused on what he thinks and believes the right thing to do.
Very many people have been invited, but I think very few have got the opportunity to get space and be there, because everybody would have wanted to attend this mass. I beg your pardon, to attend this service, but of course because of space and because of the SOPs that we still have to follow. We mustn't forget that COVID is still with us. So, and because of the SOPs, definitely very few people will be able to represent us, and the rest of us will follow the proceedings, or will follow actually the service here on UBC TV.
Yeah, of course. Now you can see the convoy bearing the hearse making its way through the Kabaka-Njagala road in Mengo, heading towards the city center, and finally will end up in Muyenga. Of course, one would have expected that maybe the body would have been taken to church, and then he would be able to understand the different dynamics of social life in this country. But unfortunately, we have lost him, but fortunately, we lived with him.
Well, I think what also we need to look at is that I think we've had a number of cases in this particular term where speakers have not been able to complete their term. We saw it first happened in DR Congo, of course, when Janine Mabunda was actually given a vote of no confidence. That's not being not able to finish her term. It came this very year. It was in Tanzania. Job Ndugai also was forced to resign, having fallen out with the system. And now here in Uganda, we're also seeing death. Not also giving chance to Jacob Lokori Aulanyah to also complete his term. So these are things that, and that is now in East Africa, because now Congo is part of East Africa. And when we go to West Africa, of course, we can see Guinea Conakry, because of the coup. The speaker was not given chance also to continue, and in Mali just the same case. Of course, these are issues that we have to look at. That yes,
but in fact, those who are benefiting from that foundation will be able to get more support, because I think the foundation has its own leadership, and the leadership will take over from there. Of course, with difficulties, but I know and hope that it will be able to continue looking after those unprivileged children.
Yes, the convoy is on its way to Muyenga, the home of the late Jacob Lokori Aulanyah. The speaker was the first speaker of the 11th Parliament, and who was also deputy speaker, yes, of the 9th and 10th Parliament. Yeah, anytime from now, we shall also be bringing you live the Requiem service, and in honor of the late speaker. Na ndugu mtazamaji, popote ulipo, bado unaendelea kuitazama kuangalia UBC TV, ambapo kwa sasa tunakuonyesha magari ambayo yamebeba mwili wake aliyekuwa spika wa bunge la Jamhuri ya Uganda, na unaelekea nyumbani kwake Muyenga, ambapo leo kutakuwa na ibada ya wafu, ambapo baada ya shughuli ya leo ya ibada ya wafu. Tutasubiri shughuli nyingine siku ya Jumanne, Jumanne ambapo mwili wake utapelekwa bungeni, na baada ya shughuli ya Jumanne, Jumatano itakuwa ni shughuli ya kololo katika uwanja wa Uhuru, ambapo kila mwananchi, wale ambao watapata nafasi ya kufika pale, kuhakikisha kwamba wanatoa heshima zao za mwisho, na baadaye siku hiyo ya Jumatano mwili utapelekwa kijijini kwao au kwake kule Lalogi, katika kijiji cha Lalogi katika district au wilaya ya Omoro, na baadaye siku ya Ijumaa au siku ya Ijumaa ndo itakuwa siku ya mazishi rasmi. So ndugu Mututa, let's still looking at what happens to the foundation. What is the fate of the children?
Yeah, like I was saying, that the foundation has its own administration and the structures that will be definitely able to adjust to the laws, but I'm hopeful that they will be able to continue looking after the children until a solution, a permanent solution is found to be able to benefit these unfortunate children of Uganda. I know the beginning will be difficult, of course, but I'm hopeful that it will be possible for the children to be supported, given that he was not doing it as an individual alone, much as he was the one, the brain behind the establishment of the foundation. For viewers, you can still now continue watching as the convoy passes through Nsambia towards Muyenga, where it will be any moment from now to start the service that will be presided over by the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda at his Muyenga home. I'm told there will be other services after the main service, and we'll be bringing you those services and other speeches as they will unfold on UBC TV and the relative channels, both TV and radio. So I think the foundation definitely will have difficulties, but I believe that something will be done to continue benefiting those children of Uganda.
Yes, dear viewer, we are live on the UBC TV and other sister stations, that is Star TV. We are also live on all the 11 radio stations of UBC, bringing you live the process of sending off the speaker. That of course how we the state is organizing and also going on with the official send-off of the speaker, of the former speaker of the 11th parliament. Now here in studio we've actually been joined by Honorable Godfrey Chiwanda. Honorable Godfrey Chiwanda is the National Vice Chairperson for Central Region, and being the National Vice Chairperson for Central Region, actually you hold the same position with the late Jacob Lokori Aulanyah, because he was your counterpart in Northern Uganda.
The region has got many leaders that we look up to, even those who are not in the NRM. I can tell you people like Chairman Norbert Mao, a very brilliant leader that we also look up to. Someone like Dr. Olara Otunu, very brilliant. We have the Chief Justice, Alfonso Winjidolo. We have quite many leaders, so we'll have to, right now we are looking at focusing on a decent send-off. Sending him off, laying him to rest with utmost preparation that he would, dignity that he would deserve. Yeah, then later on...
Ronald, if you can hold it there for a moment. Yes, dear viewer here in Muyenga, as you can see on screen, actually, is the convoy carrying the remains of the late Right Honorable Jacob Aulanyah arriving at his home in Muyenga, and you can see, because it's a blend of culture and religion, we see the dances, because that is the bola dance. Honorable, I think you can also talk about the bola dance, because this is something that you know, in some other cultures, for example, where Chwanda comes from, it would be strange that people are dancing.
People are dancing,
yes,
people are
drumming.
Yes. So just to conclude on the other statement is that we shall have a strategic engagement, the meetings, and we'll look up to the guidance that earlier on given the region, and see how to carry on the agenda of socio-economic transformation based on some of the programs like the parish model. So look, talking about the bola dance, first of all, today we have the bola dance, but we have two different traditional dances that we are going to have as actually. The bola dance.
During the burial or
yes,
today?
this and the bola dance and otole.
Okay.
So I'll speak, I'll tell you more about both. So bola dance, what you're seeing right now is the bola dance.
Okay.
So the bola dance is a royal dance. It's actually performed when the king probably is being...
A great chief?
Sorry?
A chief or a great chief? A king or a great chief?
Yes,
Okay.
a king. So probably maybe a baby is born in the king's palace. We celebrate with a bola dance. Or if a member of the kingdom or the king himself dies, we celebrate and we dance the bola dance. And this bola dance specifically is supposed to be performed by the elderly people. It's not supposed to be young people. We only have young people when it's a celebration, a ceremony. So this is a royal dance. It's accorded with the highest respect. So late Jacob Aulanyah is now at a level of a king to us. We honor him as one of the topmost, person in the region. So he qualifies to have bola dance being performed, and that was one of the dances he really, really loved, and he knew how to perform it. They used to actually compete with the Chief Justice. So Chief Justice, the Chief Justice would tell him, you know what, Jacob, you do the upper movement very well, but I can tell you I'm better on the downer movement. Because you shake the upper body and also the movement of the feet. So this is a very royal, it's a very highly respected dance, traditional dance in our region, and it's not that everybody can have it. It's only associated with royalty and absolute respect. So that's why you see bola dance being performed right now. So looking at otole, otole is another traditional dance that we have. Now otole is performed on two occasions. Number one is when we are preparing for war. Those days when the Acholi people are preparing for war, they would dance otole. They would regroup and mobilize themselves and dance otole. Secondly, when you
to motivate themselves.
Exactly, to motivate. And secondly, when you lose somebody, we would also dance otole. Now for otole, you don't smile when you are dancing. You have to dance with with the energy and show that it's so. You perform it during sorrow. Yeah, it's a tough dance, and mostly people perform it when something is not right. So that's also another dance that will be performed when the body is brought at home. We couldn't have all this performed here because of all the logistical perspective associated with that, and then also the series of events and balancing the state function and then having the bit of the culture.
Shall we have the otole in Kololo on Wednesday, because I believe?
No, you'll have it at home during the burial.
Okay.
Yes, and it'll be a big group. Even the bola dance you're seeing right now, it's just a small group. When we reach Omoro, we'll have a big group, because they're supposed to have a bigger group dance that with the white ostrich feathers, and it's really a very nice dance. Actually tradition is gifted with quite a number of different dances. Not like for your Honorable Chwanda here that has only the Luganda dance, which is also very interesting. But actually dances are quite many. You have the Raka, the Otole, all this other dingy, all that.
You are actually bringing, you're tickling me to really fire something to Honorable, you are in the docket, I saw, of tourism. How come that all this really is not used for tourism so that people can come here to come and look at our vast culture? I've had a chance to participate in Jama Fest activities where the only dance is the Kiganda dance that represents Uganda. Now, why don't we really also see this coming out?
No, we've been using this, by the way. If there is any product that we have as a country, it's only the culture. You know, you can find a lion or an elephant in any other country, but you cannot find the bola dance in any other country, in any other region. So our cultures actually is one of the biggest tourism product that we have. Yes, we have. Maybe Lillian, when Lillian, you look at the Ganda dance, it has, you know, the movement, the drum, it has very many, it has also different types. But when you don't know, you know, even like now, Lillian, if somebody doesn't know about bola and the other dance you mentioned about, somebody may think it's the same. It's the same. Yeah. Because now here we have the magunju, which is actually, you see the way when the kabaka comes, the way that jumping, it's magunju. Then you have Baksimba, you have Nankasa, you have, oh, these are different, there are like 12 of them.
Actually, Baksimba is one that represents Uganda's culture.
Yes, the Baksimba is like the common one, but we have very many dances. But of course, when you look at it from a distance, you may not really differentiate amongst those dances. But as you've actually asked, the biggest treasure we have as a country is our culture. Uganda is actually blessed with having all different cultures. Because if you're in a chol, it's like you're in a different world altogether. You just cross to Lango, you find different dances. You cross to West Nile, just within the same regions. Like in Karamoja, if you're in Karamoja, when you're among the Bokoras, when you go to the GA, when you go to the Dodos, when you go to the Matheniko, when you go to the Pian, you know, you can be in Karamoja alone, but you can spend like 4-5 months without getting bored in the same region. But if someone sees Karamoja from afar, you may think that Karamoja, but you got the nitty-gritties of their dance, their food, their culture. So it is actually a very big challenge. Not to me alone as a Minister of Tourism, as a former Minister of Tourism, but even the Minister of Culture. You know, we've been struggling to put culture and tourism in the same ministry. Actually, at a certain time, Cabinet was discussing that culture should be taken to the Minister of Tourism. Then we agreed, said no, but for us as Minister of Tourism, we are marketing the culture. But now, the Minister of Culture is to preserve this culture, package it in the best way possible for us to market it well. But I can also really agree with you that we need to document this, because if Lillian had not come here to tell us about the difference, yes, we could know, we could think that this is the same dance. But now you see the way she has explained that this ball dance, it can be played during a celebration by the young people now. But now you would see only elderly. When we were receiving the board at the airport, I saw the Chief Justice taking on the drum now. You know, he was crying, but when he took on the drum, you know, you would see him moving on the drum. Then that strengthened him. Because I was observing him.
You could see a cultured person.
Yes, but now, because he was breaking down until when he got the sticks. Then he began drumming. Then I was standing next to Honorable Ruth Nankara. I said, you see, now that drumming has now strengthened him. Yes, he's whipping, he's doing all this, but now he's doing it culturally. And I think that our forefathers saw this, that if you are breaking down, this is the best way to do it. You can do it that way. And of course, this is what brings us together. And that's the beauty of this country. And that's what we call the pearl of Africa.
Well, Honorable Lillian, you've actually come through the ranks of student and youth leadership, now to national leadership. Why should such a things actually be known to the students, to the youth, during such sad moments? What efforts, deliberate actually, efforts and strategies should be put in place so that young people, even from their own regions, can actually know this, that whenever it is happening, it shouldn't be something like a surprise or something new to them?
About the culture?
Yes, about the culture.
Yeah,
yes,
of
yes.
course. You see, today we are in the era of more of modernity.
.com.
.com era, and most of our young people perceive culture as being primitive, as being something that is, you know, the before Stone Age period. But culture is identity. Culture is who we are. And whenever you get out of this country and you attend these big international functions and they start performing, you go like, wow, I wish our performance was here. It would be better than for those other people. So we need to keep talking about it. We need to keep on, you know, engaging the young people. You know, we used to have these competitions in primary school where we'd bring people for the music, the dance, and all this.
The national dance.
Yes, the national theatre. But there's no more today. And that was very good. I learned how to dance my traditional dance from school. I can dance actually all the traditional dances for Acholi. Right from the Rakaraka, Dingi Dingi, Bola, Otole, all this. So I learned from school. And always I try to teach my daughter from home. We try to dance, but she can't even make the moves. And she's very interested. She looks at it like, ah, Mommy, these are you things of, you know, those days. So we need to really take this thing on, and the parents must speak about it. Leave alone even the dances, even the languages today. You find the couple are all from Kitgum, or from Gulu, or from Mitiana, but the whole house is English. Who does that? You need to make sure that you let your children learn. Even if you're from different regions, maybe you married from Buganda and you got a wife from Acholi, let the kids learn both languages.
Both languages.
Because the children can learn even 10 languages. So you need to love who you are. It all comes from identity, love. Do you love who you are? Or do you admire the Western world more than your culture? But I can tell you, Uganda is blessed with all these different cultures, and I can assure you there is nothing that should compromise who we are as Africans, as Ugandans, as an Acholi, as a Karamajong, as who. We need to be proud of that, and we need to practice that. So this is something that is of course, you know, a family is the smallest unit of an institution. So everything, the incubation starts from that level. We can't get all these things from school.
We have to cut short our conversation because we shall be linking to the Requiem service in Muyenga. So you're parting short, Honorable, and then we shall have a parting short and then connect to Muyenga.
I just want to tell, when I look at the life of Honorable Aulanyah, I conclude it is just one statement, that the best way you can do great things is to love what you do. At UBC here, at your desk there, whatever that you do, it may not be the highly paid job, but if you have to do great things, just love what you do. Do it rightly. Do it rightly. And I mean, very many people are complaining. Whenever you get something, they'll be complaining. They will not be satisfied. But if you are given another assignment, that's what that used to do. Well, when was my chairman, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, 7th Parliament? He's there. Does the work. And what he did led him to more steps. So the best way for you to get more promotion and be better, love what you do.
I think you're right.
Rest in peace.
Yes, Honorable, your parting shot.
Well, I really want people to know that death exists. We have to know that death exists, and the time that God has given you to live on this planet, use it to define who you are. Do good to humanity. That is what people remember you for.